Yeah, well, that's the other side. You know, as Beverly mentioned, we have, even just from the ones that had pledged last year, the groups, there are, you know, substantially fewer that turned in pledges for this year.
And we're not a country club church, so people that believe in that philosophy don't feel they're getting what they're paying for. And that's the wrong attitude.
And one quick comment, there was a pledge card that was turned in that did not have a name on it. And as I understand it, the stewardship committee should have sent out to everybody acknowledging your pledge, the amount that you pledged, thanking you for that. So if you pledged and you didn't get that kind of notice, we might have a card that has your name on it.
Yeah, well, that person's defense, those cards were so hard to fill out.
Well, and
because it was a lovely picture, it would look great in a frame, but it was horrible to write on.
That's one thing that we worked on. You know, we took that feedback. That's part of why we're having this meeting. Is we're trying to make it easier.
Easy to understand.
Easier to understand, easier to put down. And so if you turned in a pledge card and you haven't been acknowledged for your pledge, you forgot to put your name down. And if you think you weren't acknowledged, go ahead and send an extra pledge in. It's okay. If you're not sure.
Yeah, if you think you pledged, but
At
you're
the
not
end
sure.
of the year, we'll let you know how much you paid in. It'll be nice.
Let's say you just did your pledge in Rome, and I didn't fill out a pledge card. Should I still pledge?
No, you need to fill out a card too.
That's a good thing for young people to know.
Yeah.
There you go, Ruth.
Thank you.
So it was you, huh?
I would like to
So,
address.
Ruth wants those virtual pledge cards. Put that on the list.
I thought it was a virtual pledge card.
Right.
Well, that's what's confusing, so.
I do want to address what Doug said about getting why it dropped so much. But the 25,000 was a gift that we put into,
Joseph and part of this town,
Yeah.
part of the youth.
so that was a one-time thing. Then we had 3 families that are no longer here from last year. That all of their total was around 40,000. And so, believe me, I went through it to try to account for why, and that's,
And we have 17 that didn't fill out
yeah.
from last year.
Well, get them back then.
Well, it'd be hard for me to do. And some people just don't commit, don't pledge, but they give. They give every Sunday.
Evidently, Ruth.
Yeah.
But if you do give and you don't put a pledge down, you know, we're doing God's work. But when we get down into determining where we are on this number, you know, we can't plan our extra ministries with money we don't have. We can't look at all the committees and know what we've got. We can't see that we can hire a part-time, you know, administrator to assist with, you know, the office work that we have. If we don't know what money is expected, then we can't plan for God's work as well. And so, you know, if you intend on giving, and we know.
Or if
know,
you
there might
signed
be
up
times-
online for online
if you
giving.
signed up online, but, you know, just put in a pledge card and it helps us out. And it is a pledge card. I mean, we know things happen. And so you may get halfway through the year and you have big medical expenses. Then you have to decide what you're gonna do, what you can do. And we know you go through and, you know, you change jobs and you're making less money. Or you change jobs and you're making more money. So you can put that in, you can increase your pledge anytime. And I say that just, you know, just as common knowledge. If you look and you think, oh, I can give more now, you don't have to wait until the next, you know, stewardship cycle. I mean, this is something we deal with every day at the church. And so we can work it in every day.
Yeah, I was when Jim and I were members of a church that had 40 groups. And I see that's number 4 on your event activity list.
Yes.
That is a wonderful thing. I know that's not money in the bank, like we know those people. And that was a great way, and to get to know people, it's just divided up, as I understand it, the church members, and you got together, you could decide how often you wanted to get together, just for a simple meal.
Right.
And that was a way of getting to know the rest of the company.
Okay, we brought up this on the other sheet. I wanna make sure that we've answered any of the budget questions first, because that was the primary reason for this meeting, so we can
Well, I
present it out
understand
there. And so, yeah, I thank your input. I want to get to that, because that's
Okay.
what excites me more, that other sheet.
All right.
The budget doesn't excite me, it's what we have to get
I
done.
just want to give a plus to
Yes,
that. That
yes.
does not mean that I would be the chairman of that.
Too late, Betty, too late.
You
That's
don't have
fine.
to worry about that, that's my task.
So,
But to
Any-
Betty's point,
yeah.
we're talking about increasing our budget and increasing our membership. That is the way to do it, right?
let's go and move into that, we'll look at those. You read the top, the vestry came up with these at our vestry retreat. Because we were trying to think of, some of us were thinking of activities we've done in the past, and that we haven't done in a while. And we were wondering, why haven't we done that? I don't know. Why can't we do that? I don't know, why don't we just do it? And so we came up with a list, we brainstormed, and this is what came out of it, and we tried to prioritize what was easy to do, what was a little difficult to do, and what was more difficult to do. And that's what we have listed here. Town hall meeting was number 1, so we can check that off. But we're not gonna end there. We expect to do this on a more regular basis, whether it's quarterly. I think monthly might be a little too much, but if it's not, let us know. But we're planning on quarterly town hall meetings, so we can go over this, so we can get everyone together and discuss.
What's a
what's happening to the
stampage?
church. What?
What's a, what is, how do you say it?
Stamptish?
Stuntish cooking is a table
Yeah.
in the kitchen in a restaurant, and it's also called the chef's table. And you pay extra, but you get to see all the workings of the kitchen, and,
Oh, as a group?
yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I thought it was a typo. That's actually a thing.
They commonly call chef things.
Okay.
Yeah, Spellcheck doesn't like it.
I can't pronounce it.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
In German, it's Stuntish.
Yeah, that came up and Jeff, who left, I said, okay, whatever that is, put that down. Because I wasn't about to try to.
He wasn't French, so he didn't understand.
Okay, I bring some cake, and I bring my own cream from now on. Will that do? That's my contribution.
I missed part of that. You bring your own cream for your coffee?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that works.
She doesn't like that powder stuff.
But, I can understand that too.
Where I live, I'm surrounded by, what do you call the other? Baptist. And they go door to door and ask you to come to their church, and they give out cookies.
So they give out cookies door to door to invite people to the church.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Yeah, we gotta wait for,
Thinking,
have to wait for the virus on them, but I'm gonna put that down.
but that means they're all hurting, not just us. Everybody's hurting. They're all feeling the crunch.
Yeah.
Because
But
all
now
the
the cookie
young
ministry.
people still want that
Yeah.
to do as much. That's the main problem.
Yeah, it's there are a lot of churches that are hurting.
Right.
For, the money and for the membership. And as, brought up, we solve the membership problem, we'll solve the money problem. So we've done ministry minutes, we started off on that, working on a welcomer ministry, which is kind of a throwback to what we did with greeters. The foyer groups, which is one of the main things that people definitely wanted to get done. But it takes a little bit of organization, but we can do that fairly quickly.
I'll help with it.
That's great. And any of these, if you come up with the ideas, it doesn't mean that you're the one doing it, unless you wanna do it. It's like, you know, Deborah came up with a cookbook, and she wants to do it, so that's what she's doing. We have a men's group, where people, anyone involved in there, the Hikers Eucharist that we used to do, Ben was planning on bringing that back.
We're bringing it back.
Getting together for dinner, social time, or Staubstisch, at downtown restaurants or other restaurants around. Could be wherever you're at. If you live towards Warner Robins and wanna get together there, you know, just let people know. We'll show up.
Can you explain what your numbering system means on the sheets we have?
I put it in at the top of what the priorities are, and number one means it can be done easily or immediately. And several of these have already started. Number two, we would need some moderate preparation and organization. But it's something that we can start relatively soon, you know, if we put the work into it. And three is that it requires some extensive preparation, maybe even facility work, getting together with outside organizations, and just much more than what we might be able to get together even this year. But, you know, that three may be a one because someone knows what they need to do and can get it done quickly. But that's how we categorize these. And it was more to put a little pressure on us. If it's a one, and in 6 months it's not done, well, we really need to look at it. Is it a real priority? If it is, we need to go and get it done then. If it's not, then let's find out some other one priorities that we can put into place.
The tutoring for dyslexic children, what, is that kids that are here, or is it some?
Community,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, is there a place where there are all these dyslexic children that we're gonna go tutor, or, explain that to me, please?
That was,
I can, about 2 years ago, Bishop Wright approached me about, there seems to be no concerted effort below Atlanta to work specifically with dyslexic children in school. And if you look at the statistics, a lot of people in prison are dyslexic. They started out with, this impairment and weren't followed through. They didn't fit the mold, and it's hard sometimes to diagnose dyslexia. And there's different forms of dyslexia. So, the bishop asked if we would consider at some point doing a program for dyslexic students. So that was my idea. It would have to, we'd have to coordinate. That's why it's about a three. Is it a
three?
Three. So it's going to take.
Or two, I'm sorry.
It's going to take some work and some training for people that would be interested in doing that. I envision that they would come here. So.
I was just gonna say, when you talk about Chef's Table, that is a good way for outreach, because Loaves and Fishes does their foodie fundraiser. You go like Tom Hill Senior, lots of organizations do it, they collect canned goods, we get free chicken sandwiches. Those sometimes go to Loaves and Fishes, that has the last couple of years. So there are opportunities for us to be good to eat, but also to support. I know some of the other churches that are Episcopal and St. Paul's and them, they'll go have a group dinner at the night at Tom Hill Senior when they know the families are going to Loaves and Fishes, or they'll go to a different, and they kind of move around that way. That's some of the things that we talked about, which will help our outreach too. Yeah.
I know with Haitian Hope, we had at times past at restaurants that would volunteer 10% of their, what they took in that evening to go towards Haitian Hope or whatever else it could come up. And that, it didn't work out 100%, keeping someone that would do it.
A bunch of them
well.
closed after
but-
we They were willing to do it because they were desperate.
Doug, don't go there. We need more restaurants.
So, but, those are things, and part of this was put up mainly just to get together. But, you know, it can switch into some outreach thing also. Those are the ideas that, you know, we asked y'all to help work on and come up with.
We've recently been listed on the, I think it's called Georgia Reel, of locations available for film sets. So that's a potential source of income that other churches in the diocese have, some of them have made absurd amounts of money allowing people to video.
So if you know anyone in the film business.
But it's a website where they go and look at available sites and they narrow what they're looking for and where they're looking for it, and our place pops up with pictures and basically here we are.
Yeah.
We're available.
Doug, can I just say
Yes.
something? But I know, if you see on 2 as well, increased community work days. I know we've done, we did 2 last year, and I would like to do it maybe 4 this year. Unfortunately, maybe doing 1 in the summer. But like we say, you know, we see how huge the property and grounds number is. I know we have very talented people in a lot of different areas that we could work as a parish to maybe take care of these things, and that will just free up some more operating income for other things that we'd like to do. So just a reminder, our next community work day is on March 28th. It's a Saturday from 8 to 4, or 8 to 12, not 4. So please, if, you know, people of all abilities, please come out. Because like I just heard this morning about our basement, we had a little flooding issue. And you know, with the aging building, a lot of those things pop up. So we could really use everybody's help with that.
And you can keep working till 4.
And you don't even have to wait until the 28th.
Maybe if we concentrate on our strengths, for example, pastoral care among people is very strong here. And I can testify to it, I'm sure many other people can too. Being sick a lot or whatever, right on it from the beginning. There's certain strengths that we have, the reasons why I remember 67 years ago, 24 people on Crestline Drive asking, is this a church or a business? And everybody agreed with the church. What happened between then to make it as great as it's become, in spite of our little slump right now? What was some of the strengths that brought us to greatness, really, that I has become? There were about 20 people over a Crestline Drive, little building we put in, coming, and it's just a slump. I know it's a slump. I'm not denying that, but when you said that, I remember the man specifically saying, is this a church or a business? It's about 60 years ago, longer, and everybody agreed it's a church. So
Yeah.
still, you gotta take care of business.
Right.
It's a pretty dreadful place.
Yeah. Church, take care of business, focus on our strengths, pastoral care. And that's listed through these in different ways, because pastoral care isn't just taking care of people when they get ill or at for funerals. It's making sure that the person that sits in the pew ahead of you that doesn't show up for 2 weeks, that we find out, what's going on. And say, oh, they were touring Europe. So, okay, that was nice. I wish I'd known that. Let's talk about that. What happened? What'd you do? So we learn more about each other. Or they weren't feeling well. Or their car broke down so they couldn't get to church. And so we can help on that. And that's one thing we have listed as pew captains or pew partners. So you got a group around where you normally sit near and you take note of if they're there or not. And if they're not, you can ask them directly, or you can let someone else know to check in on them. And that's pastoral care also. So I want to make sure we do get out of here at least close to on time. And
That's a long time.
Yeah.
well, I didn't think we had an extra hour to deal with this.
You may have noticed that Erica, that's back here, spent the time sewing up my jacket.
Oh.
out that sheet about some ideas. And that was intentional because we need ideas from everybody. The vestry had ideas, but, you know, it's like, yes, these,
One thing that's not on the list that we've done in the past on the gift basket, each ministry, makes up a gift basket, and in the ones that I've worked with, we raised at least $500 each time. We've had 3 of them.
so again,
Each of the ministries.
it's a gift basket auction. Each ministry group would get a gift basket. And it could be geared towards what you do as a ministry. Or, like if it's music, you could have CDs and, you know, concert tickets in there, something like that. And
Or
they're
related
sent
to
out.
the season.
Or
like
related to
Easter
the season.
baskets.
And it's put out there, and it's a silent auction. You go, you bid on it, have it out for a couple of weeks, and then whoever's got the best bid on it, you know, pays for it, and, you know, gets a basket. Yes, ma'am.
So, like, that was a good idea of something we had done in the past that's not currently on this list. How do you suggest for people that are coming up with these wonderful ideas, we need to get them all on one list
See any
and work
vestry
for
member.
us?
See any vestry member.
You can see any vestry member, send an email in to, you know, Dan, Tammy, myself.
Vestry at
Vestry at stfrancismacon.org is probably the best way to do that. If you got an idea, just send it in. Or, you know, just see us. Or maybe we need to put up a list somewhere, ideas. And it could be anomalous, so if you put it down, doesn't mean you have to organize it. You don't even have to help with it. Maybe just something you think would be nice to do. Or you've seen other people do and had fun, but you know, it's not any interest to you. But
Like theater groups have always been there, when they put on plays.
yeah.
Here, Mary, start writing.
A lot of money.
Mary, we expect another play. I can't hear, but.
Start writing.
Mary wants a talent show, that's something that we're looking at for outreach and stuff.
What?
Talent play, you wanna do a talent show.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, not a play, you don't wanna write a play, you wanna do a talent show.
And I do want to say on this list, this bit that didn't have anything, it honestly was things I came up with at different times and just wrote down on a list. And I know there's a lot more ideas out there that are better than mine, in addition to mine, and so, you know, whatever you have, send it in, let us know.
One of the things I did that was interesting is of those that were numbered, and this is, you know, there's some gray areas that I didn't count in, but I rated what the item was, and it was primarily inward looking for the sake of the church as it is, or it was outward looking towards doing ministry in the community. And I came up with basically, roughly, there are 15 things that look inward, and there are 12 things that look outward.
Thank you.
So you have to pretty balanced.
It's good.
But they looking inward is affecting the outward as well.
Yeah.
That's why I practiced it with primary.
Yeah.
James can read.
Yes.
Can I just say one
All
thing?
right.
I know it's almost time to go, but just quickly, I was looking back on why I'm at this church, and, I remember that it's because somebody invited me to come. So, you know, that's something we can all do, it's not that hard.
And on that, you know, if you see someone new, speak to them, ask them, you know, help them out. That's one thing with the welcomers we want to try to do, but part of that is bringing them in, and if they need help because they've only been to Baptist churches and our prayer book is complete foreign language to them, they need someone to help them out. To tell them what is good and, you know, what they, you know, should do, what they don't need to do if they don't want to, which is most everything. You know, we're pretty lenient here. But, to help them out there and just talk to them and remind them, invite them to like the second Sunday simple lunch we had today. And, not just greet them with a handshake, fist bump, or air wave, whatever we're doing these days, but, involve them in your life in the church, so they can involve themselves into it. And that goes a long way. And with that, we are running close to the 10:30 service. I'm going to pause this because we're going to have these conversations continuing on, and we're going to keep at it. But anything you come up with, send to vestry at stfrancismacon.org, or put it in a note card and put it in the offering plate, or track one of us vestry members down, or just stick it on the desk in the office, whatever we need to do, and let us know, and so we can keep going on that. Yes?
And if there's anybody else like Ruth, who just went online and submitted their pledge that way, which is wonderful, but we do have cue cards in the back of the seat, and it would really be helpful to the finance committee if you just go ahead and fill out a pledge card and put it in the offering plate.
And the last thing I'm going to say is we're doing this for the glory of God, to guide ourselves and others in His presence and into the glory beyond. And just keep that in mind, and always keep a pleasant thought and a cheerful disposition. Amen.
Thanks be to God.